lot of unique circumstances, and I put a lot of thought into what I might say this morning. And so uncharacteristically, I have a statement that I'll read regarding kind of our upcoming game versus Missouri. Then I'll talk about our San Jose State game, and then I'll answer whatever questions there might be. Yeah, it's unique, so that's why I put some thought into it. I think Missouri's been dealing with some really important but also difficult issues. We're grateful that they're able to reach a resolution, or the beginning of a resolution might be more applicable to say. We look forward to preparing for the game at Arrowhead Stadium. It's a unique opportunity for our football team to play against a great program in a storied venue. I've gotten word, and I've got a statement from what Missouri Athletics, Mac Rhodes and Gary Pinkel have said, that football activities will resume Tuesday in preparation for Saturday's game. So it looks like, for all intents and purposes, the game will be played. That doesn't mean that the other issues that they're dealing with go away instantly. And my hope is that they can find a resolution that will work effectively for all parties. So regarding San Jose State, I thought our team showed resiliency and toughness just like they have all year. They found a way to win. I was really impressed with, and I kind of had mentioned this earlier, the veteran coaching staff of San Jose. Their defense played really well and had a nice plan against us, especially eliminating our run game. Their offensive coordinator gave a lot of different looks and challenges, which I think we handled pretty well. And they had field position advantage. They did a nice job in terms of some of their returns early in the game. But ultimately, we executed one more play and played a little bit better longer than maybe what they did, and it was a really good win in a pretty tough circumstance and unique environment. So anxious to just continue to move the football team forward. And a lot to play for still with a team that I really like coaching. So I'll be glad to take questions now regarding anything that I've said so far.
You have a relationship with Gary Pinkel, and what is it, and what do you think about his decision to kind of stand up to his president?
Yeah, Gary, I first met, as I've really met most coaches on a more intimate level, with our Nike endorsement. And when you win enough games or have enough success or sell enough merchandise or a combination of all of it, Nike treats you really well, and we get to interact with each other as coaches and spouses. And Gary's a Harley rider also, and so we have a shared affinity for that. And then had a chance just on occasion on some of the Nike trips to talk about defense and football and offense in general, and it's been fun to learn of his history. And man, the success he's had at Missouri doesn't come easy, and I think he's doing a really nice job with the current team that he has and making the best out of a really unique situation that way, and managing their quarterback situation and a really good defense. And so, man, all their games are tight, which is giving them a chance to play really close into every game. In terms of how you would handle a situation like he's handled as a head coach, I have no idea how to even begin to answer that. There's just way too many things I don't know to even comment, other than I know him, I respect him, and I'm sure he's doing what he believes is best.
As far as the last couple of days for you and the team dealing with the uncertainties and unknowns surrounding this, what's it been like?
Maybe not quite as volatile as you'd think in relation to us. My thoughts have been more of just trying to educate myself as to what's happening there and why, and trying to get a chronological order if possible, just to begin to try to make sense of it. Football coaches and teams are pretty routine oriented, and so today our routine was the same, not knowing for sure if the game would be played or not. But there's so much to focus on just within our own program, and reviewing the last game even before we got to the next one. We really haven't even had to really look forward yet, and until now, the media and the press conference is really the first thing that happens where you kind of start to look forward. And I had a team meeting with the team, which is normal, and just shared with them that to be really cautious and just allow me to speak for the program, or the players that are coming today to speak and try to represent all of us. And if there's any concerns about what I've said or what one of the players says, just come to me and I can make it clear for everybody. Because again, without a real educated viewpoint, and sometimes just the media reports, they don't go deep enough. So hard to make any realistic and educated comment enough without being a little more educated than what any of us are at this point.
Coach, if there was no game this Saturday, what would that mean for the team? Have you ever faced a situation like that?
No, I haven't, and really didn't even. I can't say I didn't allow myself just to kind of, man, what happens with that? I don't know what happens in terms of all the implications and what happens with contracts and if it's replay. I don't know any of that. Our administration has been in contact with Missouri's just as of late, which doesn't look like we'll have to address any of that. But quickly I thought about, what does it look like now if this is another bye week? What does it look like if the game is postponed? And then just trying to think about what our team need to hear from me in terms of a mental frame of mind and moving forward to try to reach our potential with the time we have remaining. So all that went through my mind, but it looks like, at least from a football perspective, that's not going to come to fruition, and I'm not going to have to really worry about that one.
So is there some relief then that the game will be played?
Sure. I think all of us crave normalcy. That doesn't mean it's always right. I think we crave normalcy, and just to go on and at least we know now what the next opponent is, when we'll play, and I think that's part of the healing process maybe for everyone, and so maybe it can be a starting point for healing.
Coach, you mentioned or alluded to it earlier, the situation is somewhat resolved, but this is still going to linger for quite a while. There's still unresolved issues on the campus. This is a little different week for their team especially, and as you prepare for an opponent like that, how do you deal with this being a little bit different because of the circumstances going on?
I think the safest thing is just, it will sound cliche, is just to control what we can control, and I really can't spend any more time than what I've already spent thinking about what our opponent might be facing or the unique circumstances there. I'll just be trying to help our team and help them reach their potential, which is my obligation. It's also something I want to do. And we have a good football program we're playing in a really unique venue and a great opportunity. And I'll try to focus on that with my own team as much as we can.
You've often espoused having your team look beyond football to other priorities. A circumstance like this, where a team appears to be doing something similar, maybe a little more controversial than other things. Does that speak to you in that sense, and just looking beyond the game?
Sure. Because football is so all-encompassing for any of us that are coaches or even players, it can, again, the routine takes up most of your day, and then the thoughts about the routine or the game take up a lot of the rest of the time, and so I think on a college campus in a university environment, that other things are being discussed and acted upon, regardless of what the issues are and whatever depth. If not, maybe at a college campus, then where? And so, again, without knowing all the details and how complex they are, there's a part to that resonates with me.
Talk about the extra focus this whole situation will put on the game this Saturday. It seems like as if this is transcended to more than just a university football game now.
Possibly so. I think that the other thing that it really shows, which is maybe as compelling, is the interest in college football, and that things start to happen when college football is endorsing or involved, and so I think it's drawn heightened awareness, certainly to this particular issue, but maybe there are other issues in the past where college football has been a catalyst for change in some regard, and so that to me is maybe more the underlying story, is how college football has really impacted this story.
Does it surprise you that it seemed to be the breaking point, that once the football team got involved?
I'm not sure I could say it surprises me. Just in my time as the head football coach at BYU, the impact of exposure in college football seems, and the platform that it has seems to be growing larger and larger yearly and almost weekly. And then as the season goes on, it certainly, as playoff intrigue and the nature of the games becomes more compelling, it seems like the stage or the platform becomes bigger. And so I think this might just be the next indicator of the presence of the college football game or platform to speak from.